Welcome back to M Hood Fishing, everybody. I'm in my friend's backyard, and it's a very unique backyard. Both my rigs are exactly the same. 3 ounces of lead on a sinker slide. Main line is 80-pound braid. I keep it like that because I do the river so much. This is not the river, but the river is connected to this. We're on the ICW. 6/0 octopus on a leader that is 50-pound mono. So the only difference between each rig is the bait. On this rig, we have a chunk of mullet. And on this rig, we have a chunk of shad. As you can see, it's like all industrial stuff across the way in front of us. This is not a weekday, therefore it's quiet. We are coming into the afternoon, therefore it's even more quiet over here. We're gonna have the passing boat here and there, but I guarantee this sounds a lot different on a weekday. I wonder what that sounds like. I have fished close to this area, but not like right smack dab in the middle of it. I've fished all the way over there on one side of this. So what we gotta do is get the shad out towards the middle, right there. So that bait's to the left. Hopefully, I think these rod holders are gonna be all right. They're not really in there. They just kind of like, you can put them wherever you want. See, it's that style. I think that's going to be okay. So we got one to the left. Now this one, I'm told if I throw it to the right, I might hit something coming in. So let's put this one right dab across, straight across from us. Bada bing, bada boom. In the middle again. This part of the ICW is much narrower than other parts I fished. You look at it from where I'm standing and you might quickly come to the opinion that it's featureless. It may very well be. It may very well be featureless. However, when you go this way, not too far down there, it ends at the Mississippi River at what we call the Algiers Locks. And you go this way, it just goes on and on. So big cats can get in up here at the locks. There are other spots in between us and the locks where the cats might feel more inviting. It may be more favorable for them. And there are spots that are more inviting to the cats down that way. So the chances of a big cat cruising back and forth in front of us, it's not low, it's not high, it's fair. So that's what we're targeting, bigger cats to medium-sized cats with these baits. Plus it's my first time to fish this dock, so sit down, relax, and enjoy the ride. I hope I get bit by a fish to offset getting bit by ants. As it stands, I've had a bite on each bait. Each bait is to the left, but in the middle. Remember I said this may very well be featureless, but if you stop and observe for a while and think about it, it's not really as featureless as you may assume at first. If you're just thinking about the bottom, see there's a bite on the shad, the rod on the left. If you're just thinking about the bottom, that might be fairly featureless. But think about this, across the way we have working docks. We have dry docks in the water and we have barges in the water. since that's a working dock, this stretch right here, well, in front of us, across the way anyway, may be dredged more regularly. So it could be a decent depth, and those are like continuously there's something in the water right there. The dry docks are probably there a lot of the year. Those barges that we're looking at, they may be there continuously but changing in and out. Therefore, because there's always something docked over there like this, that offers a lot of shade and coverage. And as I've been standing here, as we come into 6 p.m., I've been observing, mostly to the left, a lot of bait right out in front of those two barges there. You can't see much because we got the sun beating right down on us. We're staring right at, almost directly into it. There's a lot of glare, but with my sunglasses that you can get at B&B, they say HB on them. These are made particularly for dirty water, for conditions down here, and I can see a lot of activity. I've seen bait on the surface, and I've already seen some medium sized, maybe 10 to 15 pound cats roll over there where that bait is. So here in a bit, I think I want to get my baits all to the left, but a little closer to those barges, a little past the middle, right? But we're getting bites, so no need to do anything quite yet, except wait. Might not have to wait too long. We're getting another bite on the left here. That sun is doing its job, making me want to drink more water. Come on, just take that rod down. Just take it down. Hopefully I don't have to take my hook size down to get something done here. Sometimes that's the case with the ICW. It has not been the kindest to me since last fall. I guess while I'm waiting for the rod on the left to do something, let's get this one in that area I was talking about. Something's pestering that bait. Maybe that'll bring in something bigger out of curiosity. The mullet got a hit, but of course the shad is getting a lot of love right now. Okay, let's get this where I want it. Well, I was a little closer to the action. The shad got pestered to its limits. It is hot out on that dock. Oh, shad is getting a bite again. Back to the hot dock. Haven't had a bite for over 20 minutes. We got 40 minutes till sunset. Wondering how much I should change the game plan, because I need to change something. I think at least we should put the baits back in the middle of the channel rather than way over to the other side. Maybe we need to do that. Deeper water. I got the mullet in the middle. We need a new piece of shad. Switching to the middle. Worked out. And it's the shad. We've had a bite or two on the mullet, but it's the shad. I have seen mullet jumping in the water today, but all the bait that I saw that I was throwing the baits over towards were shad. So these fish are probably actively feeding off of shad more than they are mullet. And here we go. I got so bored I was reading stuff. And what I read was that it takes 2 to 4 years for a blue catfish to reach a pound. And it can take 10 to 14 years for them to reach 10 pounds. It's not definitive. It is coming from the University of Oklahoma, however. So, yeah, they usually have good data, good studies. So this fish here, he might be 10 pounds. He might be 10 years old. It can be different depending on the environment and how much food they have. You know, if there's a lot of food and it's a decent environment, they could grow faster. But imagine how old a 20 pound to 40 pound, maybe even a 50 pound blue catfish is. And there's guys who are like, always want to eat the 50s that they catch. Guarantee it's like eating a senior citizen. This was absolutely a long wait for a fish, maybe 10 pounds. I wanted to weigh that fish, but the scale's not working. I bet that fish was a little over 5 pounds. Once upon a time ago, I was catching big cats relatively close to this stretch on the ICW. Haven't had that luck in a while. I guarantee there are still parts of the ICW with big cats. It's just not these parts that I'm fishing. Maybe eventually. We'll keep going. I'll come back. And eventually, I'll get a big cat out of this stretch. I think the biggest out of this stretch was 50 pounds. Wonder if this barge coming through will complicate things or make things better. The first one that came through didn't really change much for us. Oh, I'm seeing some tension build on this rod closest to me. That bait's not too far out, just out in the middle, but you see it's getting pulled towards us. The bait's getting pulled towards the right because the current is slipping that way. Oh, whoa. Some bitch. Yeah, you're right. I'll be back. Until then, thanks for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, being a member of the channel. Thank you so much for that. And I will see you next time.